We've seen his graphic design work, and many have seen his posters and illustrations, but most people don't know his name. His name was Milton Glaser, and he was a visionary. He's not only credited with helping define the visual language of the 1960s, he may be the most influential graphic designer who ever lived. Certain artists have stayed with me throughout my life because of the unique ways they saw the world. The purpose of this series is to explore what makes their work so powerful and enduring. In 1954, in New York City, Glaser co-founded Pushpin Studios, a collective of young illustrators and designers who completely broke away from the rigid modernism that dominated design at the time. The studio created a new visual vocabulary that blended history, illustration, typography, font design, humor, and theatricality into something entirely fresh. Their work was so influential that in 1970, a retrospective of Pushpin Studios opened at the Louvre in Paris. I was first introduced to Glaser back in 1970 when I was in art school. My class took a bus into Manhattan to attend a slide lecture he was giving. I still remember the impact it had on me. From the very first slide, I was completely blown away. I had never seen anything so imaginative, sophisticated, and emotionally powerful. Glaser reinterpreted historical styles, but instead of copying them, he transformed them into something bold and contemporary. Every image felt theatrical. Every composition felt intentional. His work didn't just communicate, it resonated. Glaser understood that design wasn't merely about arranging shapes and type on a page. It was about creating an emotional experience. What makes Glaser so remarkable to me is that he brought illustration, fine art, and typography together so seamlessly. His work could be playful and intellectual at the same time. He wasn't afraid of decoration, symbolism, or beauty during a period when much of modern design had become cold and overly restrained. He reintroduced warmth and humanity into graphic design. He also drew a very clear distinction between fine art and commercial design. He didn't see design as inferior to art, only different. He believed design serves an intention, while art serves expression. But in Glaser's hands, those two worlds often felt inseparable. His commercial work carried the emotional depth and imagination of fine art. And then, of course, there's the famous I Love New York logo. What many people don't realize is that it was partly a nod to Robert Indiana's iconic love design from the 1960s. What's extraordinary is how simple it is. Just 3 characters and a heart symbol. Yet it became one of the most recognizable graphic images in the world. What's equally fascinating is seeing original sketch of the logo. It wasn't some polished corporate presentation. It was a quick concept sketch, drawn in red crayon in the back of a taxi cab. And yet, within that tiny sketch was an idea so clear and timeless that it transcended advertising and became part of a global culture. That's what great design often is. Not complexity, but clarity. There was always a distinct human voice behind the work. For me, Glaser represents something larger than graphic design. He represents the idea that commercial art can still possess soul, poetry, intelligence, and originality. His work reminds us that design doesn't have to be sterile to be modern. It could be emotional. It could be witty. It could be timeless. Even now, decades later, when I look at his work, I still feel the same sense of inspiration I felt sitting in that lecture hall as an art student. This is Marty, and thanks for watching. If you like this kind of thing, please click like and consider subscribing. See you next time.